But first, let's talk about Mel Stride. He is the Work and Pensions Secretary. In an interview with The Times, he suggested that to older people who are struggling with the cost of living, they may be 58, might have retired early. A lot of people lose their jobs in their 50s. So tough times for them. He said if they're struggling to cope financially, they might not, this is a quote from him, they might not have otherwise thought of this. What they might not have thought of is get a job delivering takeaways. I wouldn't blame a 59-year-old or indeed a 50-year-old not to have thought about getting a job delivering pizzas or burgers or whatever. So this is how low this government has sunk, and I don't want to be a job snob, and to some extent I would admire a 55-year-old who was cash-strapped and gone on a bike to deliver something to make some money, but I don't think the government should be advising this. I think that anybody in their 50s who considers it would be demeaning to cycle around, this is a job for kids, isn't it? It's a youth job, to cycle around, on the edge of getting your pension, delivering takeaways. Anybody who considered that to be demeaning at their age, I would have sympathy for. I think it's a fair thing, and I don't know what Mel Stride was thinking saying this. Let's talk to career coach, Dr. Denise Taylor. Hello, Denise.
Hello.
As I say, I want to sort of underpin what I'm saying. If you're a 55-year-old and you're struggling and you decide, you know what, I will take a job as a Deliveroo bicycle deliverer of pizzas or whatever, fine, all power to your elbow. But I don't think a government minister should be telling everybody from the age of 50 to 60, when you're on 60, you're on the edge of your pension, get on your bike, deliver some burgers. I think it's demeaning, and it shows to me how low this government has come. I mean, the paucity of what they're offering. Your chance at the age of 58 to deliver pizzas on a bicycle. As I said earlier, you've heard of the American dream. This is the British nightmare. What are your feelings about this, Denise?
Yeah, when I was reading it in the Times this morning, it was, are they serious? The clients that I work with who are in their 50s and 60s and are looking for a job, they either know what they want and they're not getting shortlisted because there's too many ageist organisations out there, or they've got health problems and they can't do the things that they would really like to do. And being on a bicycle or standing up in a restaurant or standing up in a store, if you've got problems with your knees or problems with, your heart or something, it's not the right job for you. So more help should be given on helping people to retrain and to get the jobs that they want to do. They're not forgetting there's an awful lot of older people who can't work because they're caring for elderly parents, elderly partners, or their health problems are just so much that there's not much that they can do.
I also think, I don't want to be a job snob, but it's not unreasonable to say that, getting on a bicycle to deliver food to people's doors, it's not really appropriate, is it, for someone in their late 50s? It just seems like the wrong kind of job. It is, of course, a job that we associate with young people, youth people, students, people straight out of college or school. That's what they do. So to say, oh, you're 59, why don't you do it? I don't think it's appropriate. I mean, what else would you say? As I said earlier, what else are you going to tell them to do? Become nightclub bouncers or something? It's horses for courses. And old people, this isn't a job for them, is it?
Certainly. We need to play to our strengths, and older people often have got more wisdom, more knowledge, and can be involved in things, maybe mentoring younger people. And interestingly, McDonald's take on a lot of older people, and they find that the organisation benefits from them because they calm down the atmosphere and give the younger people a sort of older person to talk to their issues with. So they are the right sort of organisations, but I can't imagine myself getting on a bicycle and going around delivering things. I can't think of anybody I know around my age, younger, a bit older, who would do that.
Yeah, I can't even. I mean, I'm in this age bracket, so I can't even remember how to ride a bicycle, to tell you the truth. Which actually sums up what I'm trying to say. You know, it just doesn't seem quite right. I know I keep saying this, but if you want to do that and you're 58 years old, you know, all power to your elbow. But I have great sympathy for probably the majority of people in their 50s who would say, look, I might be hard up, but I'm not that desperate. You know, I'm not going to get on a bicycle because it's not the right kind of job for me. That's a great idea, Denise. The government, instead of telling people get on your bike, deliver pizzas, should be looking at retraining schemes, shouldn't they?
They should, because if I think about people like us, you know, office-based jobs, we can carry on working till we're 70, 75 or whatever. But not if you're a plumber or a postman or somebody in a physically demanding job. So what should be done, and part of my doctoral research was looking into that, was what is it that we can do with people in their early 50s to start getting them retrained for a secondary career or third career or whatever, rather than to struggle on and then the knees give up. And that's where the government would be it would help so much if they actually put some money that way in helping older people to retrain.
Yeah, do a job more commensurate with their age, and you know, it's a question of dignity, isn't it? I think a lot of people in their 50s, many of whom probably will have had quite distinguished careers. Don't forget, you know, a lot of people retire early, or when you reach your 50s, a lot of people get put out of work. You know, it's a young person's world and all that. So they might have had pretty distinguished careers. And they would feel undignified getting onto a bicycle. You know, I think it lacks respect when a Secretary of State tells older people, you know, to get on a bicycle and deliver burgers. It shows a lack of respect for them, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And we can't lump everybody over 50, 55 into one category, because we've got people who have got decent pensions. They don't need to work. They've got enough money. They're earning more than many people in a normal job. So they don't need to work, but they might want to work to give a meaning and purpose to their life. But then we've got people who aren't going to have a gold-plated pension, aren't going to get enough money to have an even comfortable retirement, and they're going to have to work. So if they need money to support their pension, because otherwise they're going to be on benefits, you know, that is where the help should be. Yeah, most people are not going to want to ride on a bike. There'll always be an outlier who's got his electronic bike and feels it's something they can do.
Yeah, I'm nothing against people who want to do it, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the vast majority of people in their 50s will not feel that delivering pizzas is a job for them, and I don't blame them. Denise, great to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time. That was Dr. Denise Taylor. She's a career coach. Let's talk to Douglas in Brighton. Hello, Douglas. What can I do for you? What would you like to say?
Okay, it's about this working over 50. I've just been down a local pizza place.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the manager.
Yeah.
And